Good morning, guys. I'm John Paul and Hayley Jones of the Reddish Rascals. Today we were visited by our local councillors from the Green Party. They are interested in what we do, how we grow, how we give our surplus to the local food banks, etc. So we did a potato reveal for them.
Reveal with our local Green Party councillors. We're going to take the humes off, which are the green bits first. We use the secateurs and we just snip them off like that. So if you want to take them off first, you can do them in big clumps. Yeah, take them all. You can take as many as you want. And these will all go on the compost heap. Fantastic. Because it's so early in the season, they've got no chance of having blight or any diseases or pests.
Yeah, so they can go into the compost safely. Yeah, I'll have a go.
Secretary.
Just take them off. Is that about there?
Yeah, take them off there. It's just easier for when you tip it out and then they don't get in the way. So.
Okay, you don't pull them, you tip them out, okay.
Yeah.
You always think you'd be pulling them, wouldn't you? That's not the way.
What are these little things?
They're little potatoes.
Little spuds.
Right.
So, what we'll do is tip that out. So these are.
See them already.
So you can see all the potatoes starting to come out.
So how many seed potatoes would you have planted?
There's 4 in this bucket. So what I'll do is I'll take all the manure off the bottom for you, so because there won't be any potatoes in that.
Some bugs and things in there.
Yeah, you get wood lice and worms and beetles. So this is when you see the first potato, you know that is the layer, and this is the seed potato. You can see the difference in the colour. So that's what we planted. So there'll be 4 of them. If this really solid, so we're only taking these because they're like new potatoes. We take them at this size. So if you want to get your hands in and just break it apart.
So will you use that one or not?
No, that goes into the green waste bin because otherwise it'll sprout.
Tuck in this side, James.
Yes.
So this is another seed potato.
So that's another one, yeah. So there'll be
all these white ones are...
Yeah.
The edible ones.
Is that a seed?
That's a seed, yeah.
I'm going to let you take these home.
Yes, please.
I love spuds. I think they're like they're really a sort of staple thing, aren't they? Because if you're sort of can't afford to buy much in the way of food, spuds
Are so versatile,
yeah, and they're good like in the winter as well. They're sort of warming, aren't they? And you can sort of do loads of things with them, can't you?
Yeah. So we've got 40 of the. Well, we did have
energy,
40 of these.
They give
buckets.
a lot of energy.
Yeah, because the complex starch and the carbohydrates. And
yeah.
stuff.
So how many and it's nice when you get them like this as well, because all you have to do is wash them, don't you?
Yeah, that's it. You don't even have
no
to
peeling.
No, I don't even have to scrape them.
No, that's it.
Fantastic. Look
That's
at that.
So there'll be about
Put them
£2
all together.
there, yeah.
That's a really good haul, isn't it? Yeah.
And that's from 4
seeds.
Yeah.
And they've been taken quite early because we want them to be that sort of size.
Right.
Whereas when you get the main croppers, it should be between 10 and 15 pound per bucket.
So guys, as you can see, that's the harvest that we got from the bucket of potatoes that our councillors did. I'm just talking through how we separate the seeds from the new potatoes. Then I showed them our greenhouse with our cucumbers and melons. We have watermelons and cantaloupe melons for the first time this year. And the trellis that you see is made from an old hammock that we had lying about the plot. So when you come to our plot, you get a basket of goodies to go home with for your time. And you also get to try some of our strawberries from the plot, which are very nice indeed, which we took home our own little potato reveal. And with our broad beans and peas from the plot, I made a nice pea and broad bean risotto for lunch. And the onions and the garlic from the plot also. So apart from the rice and the bit of vegetable stock, that was everything. And a nice cool gin and tonic to reward ourselves. As you'll see in a minute, did a little video the next day just to give a little show round, show you how the plot's doing, and I hope you enjoy what you see. Thank you very much. Good morning guys, John Paul and Hayley Jones from the Reddish Rascals. Well, I'm down the plot at 6 o'clock on Sunday morning, the day after we had our visit from our local Green Party councillors, James, Liz and Gary. Just thought to give you a little view around the plot to show how it's doing, as the potato reveal and the photos that I've just posted don't really do it justice the way things are going at the moment. So I just wanted to give you a quick look around and show you what the plans are for later on today. And we've had rain for the first time in a long time. We've had a good 1.5 inches overnight, so everywhere is looking really healthy and zingy with a good watering. So I'll stop talking now and turn the camera around so you can see the results of how it looks after a good downpour. So we'll start at the front as always, and as you can see, the sunflowers, these are assorted sunflowers. So we have normal, we have reds and browns and dwarf varieties here. We have the giant sunflower on the corner there. The pallets are making an excellent stand for all our canes and tubes that we use to do netting over the winter for the cabbages and broccoli and cauliflowers and sprouts, etc. This is our homemade compost bin, which I've took the top off now to let the water get in, as we're going to try and plant 3 pumpkins in this to get 3 nice big ones for Halloween for our granddaughter. The rhubarb that we split this year and replanted, it had a phase where it dropped down and looked like it was dying, but it must have just been getting ready to explode. So it's put the new roots out and now it's putting out the rhubarb. We'll pick very little, if any, more of this year, because we won't, like the asparagus, you need the crowns to build so that they've got the energy to start up next year. In the polytunnel, we had to have a rethink. It looks a bit shabby at the moment because we're halfway through it. The tubs were drying out too quick because I've used small 3-litre pots. So what I'm doing at the moment is I'm digging through the cardboard into the ground and planting them. Some of them look a bit shriveled and bedraggled. That's just because they've been transplanted this week and they've had a bit of scorching and stuff because of the intense heat that's been in here, even though we've left the door open. The chilies and the peppers are looking amazing because they're on oh, I can't remember what it's called, capillary matting, that's the one. So the water reserve underneath gets soaked up and the roots go on the capillary matting and soak them up as they're doing. So I'll show you them another day, because I'm thinking I'm going to need to pot on the chilies because they're only in 4-litre pots and they need a bit more room now as they're getting bigger because they're starting to flower, but we'll see. I've put a bit of enviro mesh around the carrots. I know that I should have them on top as well, but we just didn't have any to do it, to try and protect it from the carrot root fly. Our parsnips have been very sporadic in germination, so we will be doing some more for a later harvest and just take pictures so that we know which are the ones that are here now. We should be able to tell by the size of the plants. So the sweet peas are starting to climb now, so hopefully late July, early August, we should have some nice sweet pea flowers. The trailing cucumbers are starting to pick up. I don't think they like being outside, so they're taking a bit of time, but we'll see what goes on. All the leeks this year, because the whole of the plot is confused by the way that we've had the heat and the sun and no rain. all the leeks have gone to seed this year. So we decided to leave them, and what we'll do is let the pollinators have their fun on the seed heads, and then we'll just chop them up for stew pack. Doesn't matter if they're a bit hard, because they're going to go in stews and be boiled or roast them for later on in the year. A few of the peas have started to come up. This variety will not be getting used again. Aurelio, I think it was called. The spare tomatoes that we had knocking about are just thrown in. They seem to be picking up nicely now. Broad beans, we've had a massive harvest, which you'll see in the pictures that I've posted. All the pak choy that we planted has gone to seed virtually. I've got to pick all the broccoli because that's about to go as well. The Swiss chard has been decimated in that area there by slugs, so I'm going to sort them out. The French beans have turned the corner, they're actually starting to flower now, so that's really good. These tomatoes, I normally take off all the suckers and trail them up the canes, but this year I'm just going to see what results we get from letting them do their own thing. I'm just going to leave them and just see what results we get. More Swiss chard, more beans. Then we've got the dahlias from seed. We've also got our yellow courgettes, which are just starting. We've got more summer squash and winter squash to go in, butternut squash and pumpkins. Some more spare tomatoes that we took out. We took all the onions and garlic out because we got white rot and we wanted to save as much as we could, so we've done that. I'll show you the results of them in a minute. Our aubergines have done nothing since they've been planted out. They haven't really moved on, so I don't think they like it. I love aubergine, but they don't seem to want to grow on the plot. Or it's any advice, anyone knows what I'm doing wrong, let me know. The strawberries have been prolific. Our bell peppers are coming on now. They're starting to show flower heads. So hopefully in 2 months we'll have a good crop of them. All the little gem lettuce have bolted to seed, and the red ones, even though we've been picking them like mad. So the fruit trees, the black currants are just starting to turn. The red gooseberries, the green gooseberries, they're all doing well. We planted in spirit all our leftover onions around the edges of these beds, and they're starting to do really well there now as well. Potatoes, I had to move them apart because I couldn't get into water them, so there was some that were quite dry and stuff, so that's why they look like they've been battered. I'm going to take Tony O'Neill's advice, and I'm going to make a wire frame for them next year, and also a drip irrigation system, so that I just have to turn it on and each individual plant will get its required water. The asparagus fronds are doing really well now that they're growing. We do have more asparagus growing from the base, which means that the roots are being put out by the crowns, and they're starting to build up more energy, which is really good for the future. With our councillors yesterday, I showed James what we're going to do with our sweet corn this year. So we've got pop bottles, we've got ones with ridges on that we've used, so when we water them directly into here, the water will stay. As it heats up and evaporates, it'll condense on the lip and trickle back down, so hopefully we'll save on water, and also it gives them a bit of protection from things like slugs and rats and mice and that might nibble on them. So that's the plan for later on today, is to do this whole bed with the sweet corn. Fingers crossed. So as always, the trees at the back, the little orchard that we got, are coming on well. We've got first signs of grapes on the grapevine, so we need to remove quite a few of them, as it's its first year of having fruit on, because we're trying to get the vine to grow and make it strong. Like everything else, it takes time, so we're actually going to Just zooming in on our bumblebee there. Don't know if you can see him. No, it's gone a bit hazy now. Zoom back out. No, he's off anyway. Don't know why it went hazy then. As you can see, we've we got a temporary sunshade because it's been so hot. I've put it up today in case it rains so I can jump underneath it. But we're taking us home now because one of the sheds got broken into the other week. So we don't leave anything at the plot anymore. Simply for that reason, if there's nothing there, they won't break in to take things. So in the greenhouse, as you can see, the corn's well ready to go out. There are all the squashes and pumpkins in the back. Need to get more seeds planted up. The herb bed's gone amazing over the last few weeks. It's starting to fill out. We've got loads of sage, thyme, oregano, rosemary. We've got Welsh onions. We've got our mint. So we're going to be doing this soon. Finally got round to sorting all the greenhouse with the ties for the tomatoes. In the corner, they haven't been tied up because they're a little bush variety called Tom Thumb. So they're really tiny cherry tomatoes. We'll see what they're like. I'm gonna go next year with tried and tested. So I'm gonna go with Gardener's Delight and also Sun Gold, which are a yellow cherry tomato and a red cherry tomato. For my outdoor tomatoes, I'm going to go with the plum tomatoes. Well, for the polytunnel, plum tomatoes. And for the outdoor ones, I'm going to go for Tigerella and Moneymaker. So they're the varieties that I'm going for next year because I really like all them. So we tried these. Don't seem to have as good a cropping, but we'll see what goes on. We've got the really big beef tomatoes there, which you can tell because it's starting to get the ridges on them. And they should hopefully swell out, but they're not. We only grew them this year just to see different varieties and what they do. We don't really eat many large tomatoes. It's mainly salad tomatoes and cherries, and they're really good fruit pick. And I'll take you along now to the other greenhouse where we have our cucumbers, watermelon and cantaloupe melons. So as you can see, I've created a climbing frame for them. So this was left on the plot of Haley's when we first got it, and it was a hammock, and I kept it for the last 3 years thinking, what can I do? And then I had an inspirational thought of putting it in the greenhouse for the cucumbers and the melons and that to grow up. So if you look at the melons, I've got one here trailing up and one I'm going to let trail down so that they can use the ground so that the melons will be supported. And the same for one of the watermelons. I've got them climbing up and one growing down as well. The cucumbers have just got growing up. So we've got two different varieties. We've got a gherkin variety, which is small cucumbers, and then a normal variety. So we'll be doing pickles and things. The apple tree we inherited, some of it looks a bit sickly and stuff. I don't know enough about trees at the moment, so I will be looking into more information on what I need to do. But the apples are starting to swell now, so that's a really good sign for the future. I've done some extra decking here. I've got some sprouts and summer cabbage to go in there, being sheltered from the wood pigeons so that they can't get to them. And that's basically it for today. That's what we showed our friends at the Green Party when they came to visit, and we've asked them to come back in a couple of months to see the progress of the other fruit and vegetables and send them away with another box of goodies maybe. Apologise for the sound of the plane overhead. We are on the flight path for Manchester Airport, so we get a lot of planes coming over and interrupting filming. That's all for now from John Paul and Hayley Jones, and look forward to seeing you again soon. Goodbye.